So as a mom and as a dentist, one of my biggest goals is to look to my patients and look for solutions for problems that they're currently having, whether it's tooth related or whole body. I think the more that we can empower patients to understand what is actually happening with their body, the better off they'll be in making treatment decisions. So I don't like when a patient comes in and just has a toothache or they have a broken tooth. I want to figure out why the tooth broke. Did you open a beer bottle with your tooth? All right, jackpot, we figured it out. Have you been grinding your teeth for years and years because you have oxygen desaturation, etc. So as a mother, I do the same thing for my kids. When my oldest was very young, she was having night terrors. And so she'd wake up in the middle of the night at 2-3 years old, screaming. Well, she was my firstborn, so of course I jump out of bed thinking that she's being kidnapped. I run in there and she's sound asleep, sitting up and screaming. And night terrors are called that because we remember the night terrors. The children remember nightmares. She didn't remember it in the morning. So I had to figure out what was I doing psychologically to damage my child during the day that she was having these night terrors. I realized nothing short term, probably long term, but nothing short term. So we were able to address, where are these night terrors coming from? We had to figure out a solution. I found out very quickly my daughter's a mouth breather. By breathing through her mouth, she's not getting the oxygen that she needs while she sleeps to cycle through the sleep cycles. So I was looking actively for these solutions. Same thing for my father. Both of my parents wear the tap appliance to help get their tongue out of their airway so they can have proper oxygenation when they sleep. My father had some heart arrhythmias. Couldn't figure out why his heart was beating out of rhythm. When he did a home sleep test, we figured out that his oxygen was dropping significantly. And when that oxygen dropped, he went from a parasympathetic rest and digest state into a sympathetically cortisol-driven sympathetic state, fight or flight. Holy cow, get my body more oxygen in here. And so we saw his heart rate completely flutter corresponding to that. So, technically, the medical doctor said he should be a CPAP. He should wear that CPAP. He's a CPAP failure. Who wants to wear that? Definitely not my mom. My mom does not want my dad to be wearing that. It's loud and my dad travels quite a bit and it's not realistic. So finding a solution for him, even though on paper, maybe he's a CPAP patient, finding an appliance that could accomplish a similar goal has been life-changing for him. He's able to sleep much better, take advantage of all the sleep cycles, so he wakes up feeling rested. He's in his mid-60s, still practicing dentistry like he's in his 20s. He's feeling great, able to travel much easier. So this has been my approach to really find solutions, not only for my patients, but really for my family. It's been a passion of mine. I think we all become dentists because we're servant-hearted and we want to help people. And I have the best of intentions and I work really hard. Even as I work really hard, I am average dentist at best. I've never had a patient come in and say, hey, that number 12 DO changed my life. Thank you. I've written you into my will. This is amazing. They've usually said, well, the color doesn't match or the bite is off, right? No one says that. But when I have patients that we've done a 12 DO, for example, a filling in their tooth, and it stays for a long time because we also address the grinding, which is why they needed the restoration, and we get them to where they're feeling better. So a lot of these patients, ideally the way the body works, you take air in through the nose, you filter, purify, humidify it, introduce it into your body. The right kind of air is important as well as the right quantity of air. So if these patients aren't getting one or the other, their bodies are able to compensate for that. And so if we address how they're compensating and really resolve that issue and they start to sleep better, we're not reinventing the wheel. We're just helping their bodies set up to work the way they're supposed to function the way they're supposed to. So if we can get them in a stage where they're able to sleep better, they wake up feeling better, I'll tell you what, it's a great day at work when patients come in and they're crying. I had a patient say the other week, I used to see in black and white, now I see in color. Or one lady said, I heard birds chirping this morning. I'm like, they chirp every morning, lady. You're just a grouch and didn't pay attention. So to be able to actually improve their quality of life, they credit that with me. Of course, I have nothing to do with it. I just gave them a tool that they're using. Of course, I take credit for all of it, don't get me wrong, but allowing them to have the opportunity for their body to function the way they're supposed to could be the best referral there could be. I was walked into happy hour with some of my friends the other day, and there was a group of patients sitting there, these women, and they said, oh, Dr. Jill, and one woman started crying, gave me a hug and said, you saved my life. We were just talking about you. And the other lady said, oh, what do you do for a living? I said, I'm a dentist. And she's like, what? I hate my dentist. And this other lady's crying because I saved her life. So it builds patients that talk about you with their friends. It's exciting when I see them, in the grocery store and out in public, because I treat most of my patients are in my same community, because they're very thankful for the service that we provided, because they feel better and it improves their quality of life. So I've never received a referral for a crown or whitening or anything like that. But I have had a lot of patients that have referred other people because they're concerned and they want them to have a higher quality of life like they've been able to establish for themselves.